Hey everyone, happy Friday. We're going to take some notes on simplifying expressions. So please get out your math notebook and open up to a fresh sheet. As we go through this, feel free to pause this at any time to get caught up or to take a second look at something, maybe even rewind it if you need to. Okay, that's what's great about these videos is you can access it on your own. So I'm going to share my notes screen here. All right. Today we are simplifying expressions. Today is the 12th. Cool. All right. We're going to start off easy. We're going to get a little bit harder and harder as we go. Okay, so 2x plus 3x. Now remember, this is an expression. It's different than an equation. An equation has an equal sign and we can get an answer. All we can do with these expressions is simplify them. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break them down and make them a little more manageable to deal with. So remember the 2x, this is like a multiplication problem. This is saying 2 times x plus 3 times x. Another way you can think about these problems with the variables is there are two different x's here, x and x, because 2 times x is the same thing as x plus x. So I've got two x's here that's represented by the coefficient, which is that number that's in front of the variable that tells me what I'm multiplying by. It tells me how many of those variables I have. I have 2, 1, 2. And over here, I've got 3, 1, 2, 3. How many x's do we have in total? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my simplified expression is 5x. So all I'm doing here is I'm combining the coefficients. That is the name of the game when we are simplifying expressions. We are combining coefficients. And that's all we did here. 2 plus 3 is 5. So I simplified and got this to 5x. Okay, let's take on something a little more difficult. Negative 2c minus 5 minus 4c plus 7. Okay, so our first step is we need to identify like terms. Now, like terms are variables that have the same coefficient and are constants. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got C's here. So I'm going to identify, I like to do shapes, especially when we're first learning. I'm going to put those in triangles. Now notice that I'm including the negative sign in there. So here's one set, sorry, and then the other one is this 4C here. Okay, so here are my like terms in terms of C. I've put them in blue triangles. The other like terms that I have here are my constant. Remember, my constants are whole numbers. So I'm just going to circle those in black. Positive 7 and negative 5. Okay, so I have identified like terms. I have two sets. One set with C's, one set with constants. Then I'm going to combine like terms. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing I did up here. I'm just going to add or subtract the coefficients. So here I have a negative 2. I'm looking at my C's. I have a negative 2 and a negative 4. Negative 2 plus negative 4 equals negative 6. So that's going to be my new coefficient for my C's, negative 6C. I've combined these together. Okay, and over here, I need to combine these constants. I got a -5 plus 7. We know that that is +2. My signs are different, so I found the difference. I got more positives than negatives. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of skills that we've gone over this year in today's exercise, including adding and subtracting integers. Anyway, okay, so I've combined -5 and +7, and I get +2. So I'm just going to say +2. If it was a -2, I would say -2, but this is a positive number, so I'm going to use addition. And this is my simplified expression, -6c plus 2. That's it. Again, kids are like, well, what's the answer? How can, what is the value of c? We don't know that yet. We need an equal sign to be able to solve an equation. We don't have an equation. We have an expression. So the best thing that we can do is just simplify. We're going to do one more and then call it a day. 3y plus 7 plus 10y minus 2x minus 1. Okay, so now I have two variables in here. I've got a y and I've got an x, and I've got a couple constants in there. We're going to do the same. We're do the same routine where we're going to identify our like terms. So in this case, I've got y's. I'm just going to circle them. 3y and 10y. Now, is 2x a like term? No, it's not. It needs to have matching variables. These variables do not match. I got a y and an x, so I cannot combine them. So I'm not going to identify this x with the y's. I'm going to leave x as it is because I have nothing that I can combine it with. But I can, there are another set of like terms. There's this +7 and this -1. Remember, those are my constants. Okay, I've identified my like terms. Now let's combine. My y's are going to combine as 3 plus 10. That's 13. So now I have 13y. I'm going to leave my constants at the end. So this 2x, since it doesn't combine with anything, it's just going to drop down as is, -2x or -2x. And then I'm going to combine these guys, a +7, -1. That's a +6 plus 6. And that's it. There's my simplified expression. Okay. It was a little more complicated here because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. And now we broke that down to 1, 2, 3. So we made it simpler. Okay. Order does not matter here. So I could have rewritten this as a -2x, because remember that negative sign needs to stay with the number. So -2x plus 13y plus 6. I could have written it as +6 minus 2x plus 3y. These are all equivalent expressions because remember, order does not matter as long as you're keeping track of all those negative signs and making things negative. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for paying attention, and get these notes down if you haven't already. Thanks, bye.